Last year my wife made a bunch of Christmas ornaments and we wanted a way to easily replicate the forms without having to think too much about it when we were down at the lathe. So we took a photo of them and took it to Illustrator. With the curves traced, we saved it as an SVG. We can then take that SVG straight to easel, but first I'm going to load it into Fusion 360. That gets imported onto a sketch layer, then after it's unfixed, we can move that into a better position. Exiting sketch mode, and then I can apply a revolve to it rather than an extrude. We select the sketch object and select the axis we want to revolve around. Bam! Instant ornament visualization. We can then edit the sketch and the 3D model is automatically updated. This will allow us to test the design or tweak ornaments without actually having to commit anything to wood. I'm not going to go into the fine details of it today, but you could skip using Illustrator or Inkscape entirely by importing the JPEG straight into Fusion as a canvas layer. This then lets you use the spline tool to trace the lines and create very editable curves. My first attempt I messed up by forgetting to apply pressure to activate the double-sided tape. That resulted in some dancing plywood. My second attempt chrome crashed. This resulted in the motors just stopping when they'd reached the end of the command list that had been sent through. I don't think it was Easel's fault. The latest version of Chrome has been super buggy for me on my laptop, but it highlights one of the downsides of web-driven apps. Could be the website, graphics drivers, the browser or the PC, and there's no real way to tell what caused the crash. For my third attempt, I discovered that you can export G-code from Easel, which let me use Universal G-code Sender and get around the issue of the browser crashing while machining. I was pretty happy with the template results, so I began by roughing out a blank of Tassie oak to test out the shape and process. From there I could use the template to mark the beginning, end, high and low spots. From there it was just a matter of following my template. As I didn't create the original ornament, I wasn't entirely sure which tool I should use, so I jumped back and forth a lot. I think I really need to practice my skew technique, as that would have been perfect for pretty much every cat involved. So it's not a perfect match for the original, but the general shape's actually not too bad. I've still got to put some extra finish on top and the bottom where I parted it off. And got to remember not to use a alcohol soluble marker and then put an alcohol based finish on top of it, because that's a bit smudged. Maybe the snowman's been drinking. So the template concept works pretty well, and it's something we definitely will be using later in the year when we make a whole bunch of different ornaments, a lot more complicated, segmented ornaments for Christmas, for selling at craft markets, that sort of thing. But generally speaking, I'm not great at ornamental turning, so this is more the wife's territory. So hopefully this will come in use for her, because she can make a flip book full of templates if she wants to, so that she can replicate ornaments that she ends up liking or sells well or whatever. If nothing else, this was really good to use Fusion 360 to get the rotation going, so that we can test out a whole bunch of designs, particularly as we get more complicated with segments and different colors and all of that. Before we come down to the workshop, we could iterate 100 times so that there's no wood wasted. Thanks for watching.